guys, it's Kelly. Hey, I hope you can hear me a little bit better this time. I'm gonna do my voiceover for my newest art journaling page. This is that's gesso on my pages, and this is in that World of Warcraft book that I kind of recycled, and I'm using it for an art journal, and I'm starting to like it more than I did at first because I can do a two-page layout, and I don't have to worry about the binding in the middle, so I kind of like it. So, um, I can't remember the colors, the names of the colors that I'm using, but just some blues, and I sprayed it all with water first too to make the paint go a little bit farther. I wanted it to spread pretty evenly, but I knew that I wanted to use paint on these pages and kind of squish them together. I wanted a lot of texture, and I knew that I wanted to use some molding paste. The direction that I had was molding paste and a stencil of a sun. I just kind of liked it. So I usually don't have direction, but I actually did on this one, and I like the way it turned out. So, so I'm just using some blue and some green, and continually adding a little bit of water here and there, because that's some pretty decent paint. It's not super expensive paint or anything like that, but it's some of the better paint that I have, and it's a little thicker bodied paint, and it gives me some nice texture. So I like that. So just adding some more water there, and then squishing my pages together. And then when you pull them apart, the paint kind of like it. I don't know the right word, but it strings up a little bit. When you have that thicker body paint, if you add too much water to it, you kind of defeat that purpose. But if you lay down enough paint there, it'll kind of get some nice texture. In the still pictures at the end, you'll see the texture that it created. It's kind of cool. I like it. But that's it's all just acrylic paint, and that was just some burnt orange paint, the Americana small bottles of paint there. I remember that color. So, and I squished it together, and then some of the paint moved up, and you can see the gesso through it, and I liked the white. I liked that kind of clouded look. So I thought that was pretty cool. But definitely needed some red on this page, so add a little bit of red. And just slapping it on there like I usually do. Just slap it on and go with it. That's just my water. Squishing it together and then pulling it apart. I wasn't quite happy with how the red was going, so I need to squish it one more time. And then I like that. So this is just my little mini mister with white acrylic paint and water mixed in it. I just needed a few little squirts of white on there. Smear it around. It's uneven, there's blotches of white, but I like it. And here, guys, gosh darn it, I thought I was recording when I was doing this with my molding paste, and it wasn't recording, so, but I just used a knife and just added it on there. It's a lot of texture, it's really thick. So, I added that on there, and darn it, I wasn't recording. The whole time I thought I was recording, but I missed that part. It's just molding paste, molding. I always mix that up, guys, I don't remember. So once it dried, it takes quite a bit to dry. Once that dried, I just mixed some bright yellow paint. I added a little bit of white acrylic paint to it as well, and a little bit of water to make it go a little bit further. So in here I just sped up the painting of all of it. So it's just tedious painting. Gotta use a good brush for this, and it's not completely perfect in the lines. I'm okay with that. My stenciling didn't turn out completely perfect either, but it's my art journal, and I really like it. I like how it turned out. I love that sun stencil. I don't know why, but I really like it. It just makes me happy. So I'm just using my black Sharpie pens, and I have like a paintbrush Sharpie that I used in the middle, and then a regular Sharpie with a fine tip and a medium tip on both ends. It's got like one tip on one end and another tip on the other end. So, and there I was just fixing where I slipped and used the Sharpie and got on one of the sun rays. So I just outlined it because I thought that that finished it off and gave it a nice finished look. I liked how the black Sharpie looked on there. So, and I did the inside with the thicker, like the paintbrush type of Sharpie. You can get those even at Walmart or, you know, Michael's, Joann's, everybody has those. You can get a set of those Sharpie pencil. I don't know. I think they're cheaper than getting the other kind of pens. I don't have any of the Pitt pens or anything like that, but these work out nice for this kind of stuff. So, and they were a little bit cheaper, so. So I just outlined it. Didn't worry if I made little mistakes here and there. I was perfectly okay with that. Now these words, all I did was print them out on my printer and cut them and inked the outside with some archival ink. So I just printed it out. It's just on plain copy paper. So that's how I did that. I just printed it out like normal. And I needed a little something extra here, so I wind up just using my black archival ink and my blending tool. And I wind up just using the chicken wire portion of that stencil. Wish I had a bigger one though, but it worked. So first I tried my black paint dabber, but I've added a little bit too much water to that because it was really thick at some point and it didn't stencil very well. So I wound up wiping that off and going with the black archival ink. And that worked out nice. Much, much better. So I just did it randomly, and then just to make them a little bit bigger, I just lined up the stencil, you know, so I wouldn't have just stripes across the page. I wanted it random. I didn't want stripes. Just needed one more little thing. I don't know. I kind of think less is more sometimes on my pages, because if I start just trying to do too much, it just winds up looking too busy. I don't like how this one turned out. I could have got away without even doing that one last little stencil, but I think it kind of tied it together with the wording a little bit better. Added a little bit more black. So I think that worked out. So dream with your eyes wide open. That just came to mind, and I typed it out and printed it out, and I went with it. I didn't think too long about it. So now I'm just using my Mod Podge and putting that down. I didn't want to mess up any brushes, so I just slap it on with my finger. And I didn't go on top of the paper because it's a inkjet printer, and I thought maybe the toner would smear if I put something on top of it, and I didn't want to make any more mud. You know, do you guys ever have that time where you feel like all you're doing is making mud on art journal pages when you're trying new things? I had a couple days like that, so I didn't want to do that. So I just did it on the back of it and called it a day with that one. So, and then after that dried, I went ahead and used the Distressed Stickles, but it's rock candy, so it just has, you know, it's not like stickle sparkle glitter. It just has a little bit of shine to it. It kind of looks like, it looks like rock candy when it dries. So I just smeared that in the center of the suns and then on the rays of it. Just real, you know, rough, like just with my finger smeared it around. That's kind of the best way to use that rock candy stuff, I think. Just smear it around with your finger. And there you have it. I'm pretty much done with this one. I cut out a lot of the him and Han, but this one came together nicely, and I really needed that because I've been struggling with some pages lately. So and here's some still pictures of it, and some with the lights on and some with different lighting, because it looks completely different. Like you can see the shine, you know, the glare from the light, and it kind of there's a glare right there, right by the word dream. But then when you get different lighting, you can see how it changes, and it looks a little bit different. So, but thank you for watching, guys. I hope you like it, and I hope it inspired you to go slap some color on some paper and get your art journal time on. All right, thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all you mamas out there. I hope you all had a wonderful day.